Break off your engagement with Mami Owari. If compensation is needed, I'll pay any amount.
Compensation? I never even mentioned that with her.
I see, so Todoroki-kun is now officially single, which means it's fine if I recommend my sister to you, yes?
Katsuragi-san?
Todoroki Ryusei, I demand that you break off your engagement with Mami Owari.
It happened after work, when the president was out and most of the staff were still staying late. The president's son, who everyone thought had already gone home, suddenly returned with a terrifying look and declared that. Everyone turned to look at me, and when my name was called, only one thought crossed my mind. Since when did I reincarnate as a villainous? I'm Todoroki Ryusei, just an ordinary 25-year-old office worker. My education is nothing rare, just high school, and my job in sales is as common as it gets. If I had to point out anything unique, maybe it's my overly tough-sounding name and sharp eyes. Oh, and also...
Welcome back, Ryusei. Look. I just found the most amazing villainous story.
Mom, what about biker gang stories?
Oh, that's so outdated, dear. Nowadays, even Yankees are out. This is the era where side characters become the main leads.
Leaving aside my mother, who apparently devoured cell phone novels back in the day, it might be unusual that my father used to be in a biker gang. That's why my name sounds so tough. Even just a family name alone is enough, but nope, I got the full set. Honestly, give me a break. Well, not that I totally hate it.
But Ryusei, you like biker stories, don't you? Right?
Mom, what's a villainous story?
Oh, a villainess's story is...
Ryusei!
That's how I happened to learn what villainous stories were. According to Mom, the trope is, the protagonist reincarnates as a villainous in an Otome game, the Saint. Also a reincarnator steals her fiancé, the prince. And the prince publicly breaks off their engagement. Just like what's happening to me now. It was 1.5 years ago that I started dating her.
Todoroki-senpai, I like you. Please go out with me.
Mami Owari, my junior in sales, confessed to me. To someone like me, who had been feared for so long, it was such an honor that I gladly accepted. At 24, she was my first girlfriend ever. Everything was new and awkward, but things went smoothly, and we even got engaged, until...
Prince, want to get lunch after this? Before heading to the client, we can also discuss things.
Sounds great, let's do it.
Half a year ago, the president's son, Kanata Oji, entered the company through connections. That's when things got shaky. Mami, assigned as his mentor, was often with him. It was work, so I couldn't complain, but... against my hopes, the two grew closer. Their closeness at work was obvious, and Oji's eyes clearly looked at Mami like a man in love. Hey, Mami, don't you think you're getting a bit too close to Oji lately?
Huh? Really? We're friendly, but I'm his mentor, remember? It's natural we're together.
That goes way beyond natural. Do you really need to link arms while talking?
Fine, I get it. Even our boss told me to watch the distance. I'll be careful.
Nepotism aside, Oji was actually capable. A graduate of Hitotsubashi University, the standard pedigree for a successor. He joined just when the president was absent for new business. So some even speculated he might be the next president.
Sorry, Todoroki-kun. I did warn them to keep professional distance, and the department head is even considering transferring one of them.
So, although they kept a bit more space physically, their good relationship didn't change. If anything, it only deepened after the mentoring ended. Even if someone transferred, the company's small, it wouldn't make much difference. And sales is already short-staffed, so really, I think leaving it as is the same. By this point, I had basically resigned myself. The only reason I didn't break things off was because I had already introduced her to my parents. I didn't want to make Dad and Mom sad again. So when we tried talking it through again, Oji suddenly declared an annulment.
Hey, Oji-kun? What's this all of a sudden?
Sorry, Section Chief, but after learning Todoroki's true nature, I couldn't stay silent.
Huh? True nature?
Yes, apparently Todoroki has been secretly abusing her emotionally.
What?
Todoroki Ryusei, you've been jealous of me, haven't you?
Of course I was. Mommy's my fiancée. But you're the one getting close to a woman who's already engaged. What's with that attitude? Before saying anything else, you should apologize first.
So barbaric. Seeing this, it seems what Mommy said must be true. I can't let a man like you stay with her.
What the hell are you even talking about? Then Oji pulled something out of his pocket. He pressed a button and... Mommy, enough already! Why the hell won't you listen to me?
I'm sorry.
What played was the audio of me and Mommy. The device was a recorder. The ugly exchange made the employees stir. My head went blank. This must have been from that phone call. But what the hell is this?
See? There's proof. Stop chaining her down.
I was so scared. But we were already engaged, and if I ended it, he said I'd owe him damages, but I could never pay.
This is nothing but fabrication. And what's with you calling her mommy so familiarly?
Todoroki Ryusei! The evidence is clear. I won't hold back anymore. Break off your engagement with Mami Owari. If compensation is needed, I'll pay any amount.
Compensation? I never even mentioned that with her. And that recording was clearly cut and twisted maliciously. Faced with all this, even an idiot like me finally understood. I've been set up by Mommy. If that's how it is, I'll gladly break up with her. But I don't need any compensation. Unless you two were cheating, that is.
What a vile man, right up to the end. Listen, from this moment on, Mommy is free from you. Don't ever approach her again.
Wasn't planning to. But Oji, are you seriously believing everything Mommy says? Even though it's full of holes? Either way, there was no way I could focus on work anymore. My head was a mess of anger and frustration, my nose stinging as I was about to head home when...
I see. So Todoroki-kun is now officially single, which means it's fine if I recommend my sister to you, yes?
Katsuragi-san? It was none other than Tsubasa Katsuragi, who worked at a major food company that was one of her top clients. The sudden appearance of such an important figure threw the office into a different kind of commotion.
Long time no see, Todoroki-kun. Things looked interesting, so I thought I'd drop by.
It's been a while, but what brings you here? Until 2 years ago, he was the head of product planning at Katsuragi Foods, one of her clients. I dealt with him a lot in sales, but he suddenly left the company back then.
Actually, a few days ago I was appointed president. I came to greet your company and thought I'd see you too.
President? Congratulations!
Thank you.
While we were talking, Oji and Mommy clearly didn't realize who he was. Before they could say something rude, another employee explained, and their faces went pale.
I'd love to talk with you more. Are you free after this? Let's have dinner together. It's been too long.
Of course, I'll get ready right away. So, thanks to this unexpected arrival, my complicated feelings eased just a little. Seen off warmly by the staff, I left work together with President Katsuragi. Wait, did he say sister?
Director, I apologize for causing a scene, but knowing Todoroki Ryusei's cruelty, I couldn't ignore it. Please investigate his behavior. I'll tell my mother myself.
President Katsuragi, he's so cool. It's a pleasure to see you again, Todoroki-sama.
The very next day, a holiday, I was already being introduced to Katsuragi-san's younger sister. Strike while the iron's hot, I guess. We met at a cafe, but the atmosphere was like a formal matchmaking meeting.
Let me introduce her properly. You may already know, but this is my sister, Otoha.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Todoroki Ryusei. She was a receptionist at Katsuragi Foods. I'd seen her every time I visited on sales calls, so we were already acquaintances.
I've heard stories about you from my brother. Really, it's him who owes you.
What? No way. I'm just a lowly rookie. No, I'm the one who owes your brother a lot.
No, you definitely helped me. Thanks to you, I found the resolve to seize the position of president from my father.
Yes, the former president was her father, which makes them the president's son and daughter. This was made according to instructions, but based on past hits and current trends. I thought maybe this would work too. That was about 2 years ago. I showed them planning head Tsubasa my idea for a new product package.
Oh, this is excellent!
Thank you so much.
Todoroki-kun, you always bring ideas beyond expectations. Why are you so motivated? New design proposals usually get rejected more than accepted.
Oh, well...
Back then, you told me that it's easier to work hard when something excites you.
Did I really say that? I don't remember. I blinked rapidly.
It was just a throwaway comment to you. No wonder you forgot.
Sorry.
But to me, it was the essence of management.
The former president of Katsuragi Foods was already a strict efficiency first type. That worsened after Tsubasa joined. I didn't know the details, but he had an MBA from Wharton. And under him, the company became obsessed with time and cost efficiency.
Sure, profits rose, but resignation skyrocketed. When I was troubled by that, your words came back to me. The purpose matters more than efficiency. When my father refused to listen, I quit. Then, I worked behind the scenes and finally took the presidency. All thanks to you.
No way, that's too much credit.
No, really. You made me realize it, and that gave me the chance to rebuild trust and take over. Without it, the company would have collapsed further.
Right. So, does that mean my company, which depends heavily on Katsuragi Foods, was in danger too? I had heard some disturbing rumors. That's why the president is now starting new projects now, after 30 years of history.
Luckily, my sister joined around when I left, and kept the employees together, minimizing the damage. It was a close call.
Makes sense.
So yes, I heard from my brother that we owe you. You're our benefactor. Please let us be close.
I breathed in relief. I'd assumed this was a matchmaking thing, but maybe not. If you're okay with me, I'd be glad.
Good. My sister's been smitten with you, daydreaming every night. Please get along with her, and with me too. Oh, and since our surname's the same, it'll be awkward. Call me Tsubasa. And be more casual with me.
Please call me Otoha too.
So it really was a matchmaking after all. A high school grad from an ordinary family like me, paired with the daughter of a corporate president. Talk about a mismatch. But... Otoha-san, Tsubasa-san, I'd be honored to start as friends.
Yes, I may be clumsy, but I look forward to it. Do you say son? I said it out loud.
I was on autopilot, but as a working adult, I couldn't refuse. I went along. Was this part of some grand plan too? As expected of a Wharton grad who became department head at 29, even with nepotism, his mind works differently. Even as my brain froze, I was still exchanging line IDs like it was the most natural thing. And then, the next day...
Wow, do you say? It says to do a cat pose.
Like this? Having already secured a date, I was now in a photo booth with Otoha at her special request. Ugh, this is so embarrassing! Why didn't we just have our date yesterday? According to Otoha.
Do you say, according to relationship psychology, the ideal first date should last only 2 to 3 hours? Since yesterday was already approaching 2 hours, I thought we should save the rest for another day.
That's what she said. So yesterday, we just strolled around with Tsubasa for another hour and then called it a day. But isn't meeting the next day basically the same thing?
Wow, Purikura is amazing. Taking photos in that little booth really does make your heart race. It feels so fresh.
Well, Otoha seems happy, and I'm having fun too, so I guess it's fine. Besides, it helps keep my mind off things. True, but don't I look like a completely different person? My eyes are huge.
You already have cat eyes, do you say? But now you look even more like a real kitty. It's cute.
That's not something to be happy about. We were chatting like that when suddenly... Mommy? A call came in from Mommy. I've forgotten all about her since I blocked her online. Oh, right. I gave her my phone number too. I never used it, so it totally slipped my mind.
Please don't mind me. Even if you ignore her now, you'll still run into her at work anyway.
She was right, and I could already guess what this was about. So, annoyed but without hesitation, I pressed the call button. Hello?
You say? Thank goodness. You answered. I'm sorry about the other day. Prince threatened me, and I had no choice but to act like that.
The moment I answered, she started rambling in relief. She really sounded relieved, which somehow made her words feel real, and it was disgusting.
You know he's the president's son, right? He told me if I didn't go along, he'd get you fired. You say, you said this was the job you finally found after so long, so I...
Is this because he isn't the next president after all?
Huh?
You realize he isn't gonna be the next president, and now that you might be cast aside, you're trying to crawl back to me, is that it? My words were met with silence on the other end. Yes, the man people suspected might be the next president turned out not to be one at all. Yesterday, the president herself called me.
You say I'm so sorry.
That's the first thing she shouted. Her voice had such force, I thought she might be prostrating herself. No, President, this isn't your fault. It's just one of those messy entanglements of romance.
Messy entanglements, huh? For something like that, he went too far. Let me start with some information to put you at ease. He wanted me to have you investigated, but I know better than anyone that there's no need for that. So I already instructed the executives to ignore it. You won't lose your job, not in a million years.
Thank goodness.
Even so, unlike before, you now have solid achievements. You'd find another job quickly.
Please don't say that. I've decided to work here for good.
For us, having you stay is the best outcome, too. Your reputation is excellent. Even putting personal feelings aside, it would be a great loss to lose you.
President.
And one more thing. I've heard some people misunderstood, so let me clarify. Kanata is not the next president.
What?
He wanted to join the company, and he is talented, so I let him. But in the end, he only had academic knowledge. As for his character, I was foolish to think he was a good son. Most likely, he even believed it deep down that he'd be the next president. Otherwise, he wouldn't have dared to give orders to the executives. I'm relieved to hear your voice sounding strong, but you have a habit of smiling and holding it in, even when you're hurting. If things get tough, you can cry anytime. Complain if you need to. I don't mind being the one you lean on.
President.
I'll be back as soon as I can, so hang in there just a little longer.
After apologizing once more, she hung up. I bet you thought I'd just believe whatever you said, huh?
No, of course not.
Honestly, if I hadn't known the truth, stupid me might have hesitated a bit. But you made a mistake. You based your whole excuse on me losing my job. But if someone really loved me for who I am now, they wouldn't say things like that. Talking with the Katsuragi siblings and with the president these past 2 days, I realized something painfully clear. I'm actually a much more respectable working adult than I thought. Looking back, you only approached me because I was close to the president. But then, when a seemingly better successor candidate appeared, you switched to him. And now that he's no good, you're trying to crawl back to me? Or don't tell me, you're hoping I'll introduce you to Tsubasa? I don't want to say this to a woman I once truly loved, but how rotten can you be? You're like a parasite.
You...
Well, to be fair, I only try to hold on to you so I wouldn't upset my parents, so I can't talk too much. But even if I married you like that, it would have only ended in them being hurt anyway. Trying to hold on to you without realizing that, I really was an idiot. Now I can honestly say it, thanks for throwing yourself at Prince. Because of that, there's zero chance I'd ever try to hold on to you again. Go find another host. Bye.
Well, wait!
Sorry to keep you waiting, Otoha. It took longer than I thought.
It's fine. Honestly, I almost wanted to say, Ryusei is already mine. But unfortunately not yet. Just seeing that you've really moved on is enough for me.
So, yesterday, you said you were in love with me. As you probably know, I only barely graduated from a bottom-rung high school, so I hardly have any education. Honestly, I wasn't that smart to begin with, and even the stuff I learned up through junior high is shaky. On top of that, my behavior was nothing to brag about either. I was what you'd call a delinquent. That's why, while I'm really happy about your feelings, I'm just not worthy to stand beside you, Otoha, the daughter of a major company's president.
Ryusei? If you're worried about the family I was born into, that doesn't matter. Even if it's a large company, our family isn't a huge dynasty. We're nothing like the globally famous Saionji group.
Even I know about the Saionji group. They're extremely famous. From an ordinary guy like me, Otoha seems like the same kind of person. But apparently, even among the rich, there are differences. Well, I appreciate you saying that, but still.
Then please tell me more. Even during small conversations at reception, you'd always bend your knees and lower your gaze to meet my eyes. Yesterday and today are the first times we've spoken properly, but I can already tell you're very kind. So please tell me why someone like you ever became a delinquent, if you don't mind.
Her straightforward gaze pierced right through me. Torn between fear of scaring her and relief that she could handle it, I began to tell her about myself.
You certainly did as you pleased while I was away.
That same day, the president rushed back and went straight to the home where her son lived alone, shaking with anger. Having lived his whole life as an honor student, he had never seen his mother so furious, and inside, he trembled.
I'm sorry for mixing personal feelings with work, but Mom, how could you tolerate such a monster in her company? Why didn't you investigate him? Mommy said she was horribly abused.
Kanata, when did you become such an idiot?
What?
The president dropped her bag and sat down heavily. Prince, who'd always been praised for being exceptional, stared in shock, unable to process her words.
Our company? Abuse? Where's the evidence? The only fact is you call Miss Owari Mommy.
No, that's...
He realized his slip-up, but only about the words "our company."
But there's proof about the abuse. Mommy said so, and there's even a recording.
If that's the case, then of course you heard Ryusei's side too, didn't you? To judge fairly, you need both sides. Jumping to conclusion like that is something an elementary schooler would do.
But the recording...
When I asked Ryusei, he said, sure, it's my voice, but it was deliberately falsified. Given that she was also intimate with you, I'd say that's not something to ignore.
That's...
I warned you. I told you not to get too close to a female employee, especially one who was engaged. But you ignored me and only grew closer. The downfall of a man blinded by love is pathetic.
Yes, Prince had truly fallen for Mommy. Because of that, though he was supposed to be capable, he lost sight of everything, and in the name of justice, caused this disaster.
Well, even aside from that, you thought you were the next president, didn't you? I let you in through connections because you were capable, not because you were heir. Maybe if you'd actually shown ability, it could have been different. But as it stands, it's impossible. I'm embarrassed to even keep you in the company.
What?
Kanata, as president, I can't fire you. So I'll speak as your mother instead. You're a disgrace to our company. If you care at all, then to prevent further chaos among employees, resign.
Coming from his mother, whose approval he had always relied on, her words hit too hard. He sat there stunned, not even seeing her off as she left.
I sincerely apologize for causing turmoil within the company.
A Monday morning, Prince apologized to everyone and submitted his resignation to the sales manager. Then, at lunch before I went out for sales, he called me over.
I am truly, deeply sorry.
The matter was compensation money. Inside the envelope was 3 million yen. After checking, it was more than the usual amount in cases like this. I was ready to refuse, but... alright. I accepted. Even if it was higher than average, it was the right amount for him, and I felt I was worth receiving it. Until he quit, Prince worked seriously. Rumor had it, he sold his belongings to raise the money and borrowed the rest from the president. 2 weeks later, he quietly resigned. As for Mommy, she was dismissed for misconduct and never returned.
President Katsuragi, it's an honor to meet you.
And recklessly, she now tried to approach Tsubasa, but...
Oh, so you're the vile bitch who framed Ryusei.
Huh?
Engaged to an amazing man like Ryusei and still trying to flirt with another? How shameless!
Tsubasa, colder than when he visited the office before. No surprise, he was infamous for being ruthless. Though he's grown more tolerant, his default face is one of dead muscles.
The thought that you were even briefly in his life makes me sick. Why didn't I examine it this past earlier? He told me it was already resolved, but... if you ever approach him again, I won't stay silent. I'll crush you completely and protect him this time. In fact, maybe you should sign a contract right now. That way, both of us will have peace of mind. Win-win, right?
Yes.
And so, she signed a contract with Tsubasa, promising never to approach me again. After that, she moved far away and never appeared around me again.
Hey, big bro.
By then, she started fooling around with various men, as if to shake it all off. The end of her, sinking deeper into lust, was, well, that was her true self.
Mother-in-law, so Ryusei was a villainous?
I see, so that's another way to use brass knuckles. I've learned something.
And so, at the strong request of the two of them, I invited Otoha and Tsubasa to my parents' house.
That's right, Otoha-chan. And not the original works villainous, but the reincarnated villainous. Even if he's my son, I'm swooning.
It won't hurt a young president to know. Come on, don't hold back. Have a drink.
My parents and they hit it off right away. They chatted happily over drinks. Watching them,
Oh, Ryusei has fallen asleep.
Before I knew it, I was in a dream.
Come to think of it, even when we went out drinking, it was always about 2 drinks. He was having some high-proof stuff, so I don't think he can't drink.
Ryusei isn't weak. He just got sleepy fast. You too. Thank you, truly, for supporting my son. He's always been kind at heart, but he's dumb and stubborn, so... To help a kid getting bullied, he beat up some upper-class men from another school. One day, when he was late coming home and I went to the park to look for him, he said this.
Sorry, Dad. I promised I'd never fight, and I broke it. But I couldn't just look away, so I don't regret it.
He broke the promise we drilled into him since he was little, because we didn't want him turning out like me, an ex-biker, just to help a stranger. That was the beginning. The guys he beat up turned out to be students at a rough high school, and they came back for payback in huge numbers over some cocky middle school brat. Next, he tried to keep his promise to me and call the police, but to a first year, high schoolers are basically adults. He tried to call while running, got surrounded, felt in danger, and fought back, and wiped them out. After that, his classmates started fearing him, and more weirdos picked fights with him. Win a fight, get feared more, then more fights come. It kept repeating. So one day, I asked if it was hard. He said,
It's tough, but if I left them that day, this place would have hurt a lot more. So yeah, it's tough, but I don't regret it.
That's what he said. Back in middle school, he still went to class, but high school must have been tougher. He barely went, and it took a long time to find a job. That's when President Oji picked him up.
This man kept saying maybe it was my biker blood. That made life hard for Ryusei if he couldn't fight. And seeing us suffer because we couldn't save our precious son made Ryusei suffer again. So with Mommy-chan this time, I think he suffered, thinking he'd make us sad again. When we heard about it later, we worried about his heart. But seeing him happy again today put us at ease. I'm sure it's thanks to you two. Otoha-chan, Tsubasa-kun, thank you so much.
Please, look after our son from here on, too.
Of course.
Yes, with everything I have, I'll make Ryusei happy because I'm Ryusei's girlfriend.
So, even after hearing about my past, Otoha accepted me, and we became a couple. Today, I'd invited them to my parents' house, also to introduce my new girlfriend. Continuing to date Otoha smoothly, I got engaged, and 2 years later we married.
It really is like a villainous story all the way to the end, Ryusei-san.
Sure enough, the ex-fiancé gets outshone by a better prince who comes to get me, and it ends in a wedding. Well, you're the princess though, Otoha. That let me finally put my parents at ease, and by strengthening our connection with Katsuragi Foods, I could repay the president too. By the way, Tsubasa even tried to poach me, but I declined. I wanted to work at the company that hired me. Sticking to justice isn't always right. What's justice for me might not be justice for someone else. Stories end happily at the wedding, but our ending is still far ahead. So I promise this. I've gotten so much wrong, but I will never choose anything that makes you sad.
Yes!
Then I'll make not making the people I love sad my justice. No more mistakes. The end I'm aiming for is a happy one, where we're still laughing together as Grandpa and Grandma.
Villainous indeed.
Brittany here with another awesome episode. Thank you so much for watching. It means the absolute world to me. And I'll see you in the next one. Jenny!